Namaste. In today's yoga class, I'll be building up to the moon salutation, Chandra Namaskar. So we're going to be working a lot with our yin energy, with our beautiful feminine energy. It's going to be a soothing class, a nice restorative practice. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to start on our mats in a seated position. To just find a comfortable position, you can sit in half lotus, you can sit in easy pose, whatever works for you. And let's draw our palms onto our knees facing downwards just to ground ourselves. Lift up through the torso so that you've got a great elongated spine. And then gently bring your eyes to close as we settle into our mats. And you can just gently observe your natural breath as you inhale and exhale in your own time. Find your center. Find your stillness. When we work with moon energy, we go within and we spend a lot of time with our eyes closed, just intuitively feeling the asanas and finding that stillness within us. And now let's slow and deepen our breath work. So you can inhale for the count of 8. And then gently exhale for the count of 8. Inhale and exhale. And now let's open our eyes. Inhale and reach the arms up above your head. Interlace the thumbs so that you've got a great extension. Allow the shoulders to lift up naturally. Extend through the side body, reaching up, extending those arms. And now as you exhale, just draw the body across to the right hand side. And then inhale to center and exhale across to the other side. Inhale back to center, we'll take 2 more. Exhale down. Inhale to center and exhale down. Come back up to center, and we're just going to lower those arms and take some wrist rolls as we bring the hands down to rest on either side of the body. So just loosening up those wrists. And now let's inhale one last time and move straight into an exhalation, doing some wrist rolls as you work your way down, bringing the hands to settle on either side of the body. Let's just change the fold of our legs for balance. Now placing the hands back onto your knees, palms facing down, let's move into some back rolls. So just gently find your own rhythm here. Inhale as you come forward, exhale as you shift back. You can close your eyes and just enjoy this gentle motion, working with that liquid energy. And now let's change direction. Now we'll come to a seated position. Inhale and reach the arms up. This time as we exhale, we're gently going to fold forward, walking those hands out in front of us, extending through the lower part of the back. And once you've found your extension, you can gently lower the head. Let's slowly walk our way back to a seated position. Place the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. We're just going to work with some hip openers now. So take the fingers and hold onto the toes. Allow your knees to flop out to the sides. Inhale and broaden through the chest. And now we're going to flap our butterfly wings. So just loosening up those hips, allowing them to gently open. And just breathe in your own time, enjoying this gentle hip opener, finding fluidity in the hip joints, You can close your eyes again, gently breathing, and enjoy the subtle movement. Now let's find stillness in Baddha Konasana. So really extend into that upper body, broadening through the chest, and then draw the knees down, drawing them as close to the mat as possible. And let's release. Take hold of the right foot with the left hand, sweep the right arm behind you, coming into a twist. Extend through the back, and gently gaze across your right shoulder. Now let's release and repeat on the left hand side. Extending into that twist, keeping the spine nice and tall. And then come back to center. Extend the legs out in front of you, coming into Dandasana or staff pose. Shift the glutes behind you so that your pelvis is tilted. Flex those feet. Draw up through the knees, activating the quads. And you can gently place your hands on either side of your torso. Really lift up through the chest and gaze ahead. Now inhale and reach the arms up. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward, hinging from the hips, coming to settle in Paschimottanasana. And you can just find your fold wherever it's comfortable for you, trying to create elongation in the spine. So you almost want a concave back in these forward extensions. Although the natural tendency is to round and drop our heads, we really want to try and extend through the lower back. And it takes time and patience. I've got a lot of work to do still with all these forward folds. That's just part of our own journeys. So just settle wherever it's comfortable for you. There's no pressure. You can close your eyes. It's just your inward journey. And we're going to walk our hands back, coming back to a seated position. Bend the right knee, bringing the sole of the foot into your left thigh. Coming into Janu Shasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. And we're going to take one more forward extension. So again, just settle wherever it's comfortable for you. Breathe into the forward fold and allow your body to surrender. Now let's walk our way back to a seated position. This time we're going to open up our left leg a little bit wider. We're going to slide into a lateral extension. So bringing the elbow down towards your knee, reaching up and over with the right arm, and just come to settle wherever it's comfortable for you. And now we're going to use our right hand as leverage as we lift up into a mini back bend just to counter stretch. Stargazer pose. And then come back to seated. Replace that left leg straight in front of you. Lift up your right knee into Marichyasana. And we're going to move through one more forward extension. So just extend those arms out in front of you and gently come to settle wherever it's comfortable for you. Surrender and breathe into it. And if you'd like to try a bind here, you can wrap your right arm around that knee and interlace the fingers behind your back. And now let's release our right leg, bringing it back onto the mat. Draw your left knee up, placing the sole of the foot into the right thigh. Inhale to reach up and exhale as you fold forward into Janu Shasana. And again, just allow the body to settle wherever it's comfortable for you. You can use straps here if it assists. Gently breathe into it and just allow your body to surrender. Now let's walk our way back to a seated position. We're going to widen our right leg, opening it up. Slide that right arm down, elbow to knee, and then reach up and over with the left arm as you come into a side stretch. Really open up that side body, rotate the shoulder backwards, and try and get that extension in the side body. And now let's release our stretch, using the left hand as leverage as we go into a counter stretch, a mini back bend, and stargazer pose. And now return your body to the mat. Extend that right leg out in front of you. Raise the left knee, Marichyasana. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale as you fold forward. And now if you'd like to take a band, you can wrap your left arm around that knee, interlace the fingers behind your back, and gently gaze ahead. Now let's replace both legs in front of us, coming back into Dandasana. And now gently open your legs, coming into Upavista Konasana, which is our wide-legged seated position. And we're going to just do some breath work here. So as you exhale, gently flop the body to the right-hand side. Inhale to come back to center, and exhale as you flop to the left. And just move through this in your own time, finding your own rhythm, working to your own breath. Exhale down and inhale up. Exhale and inhale. Gently allowing your back to warm up, finding your natural rhythm. And again, you can close your eyes. It's a nice, soothing, rhythmic motion. Let's just do one more on either side. And then come back to a seated position. Shift your glutes back so that your pelvis is tilted forward. Inhale and lift up through the chest. And exhale as you fold forward. And again, just find that extension, whatever's comfortable for you. We're working with our yin energy today, so we're going to gently hold this pose for some time. Breathing into it and really working into that fascia. So just gently surrender in your own time. You can close your eyes. And once you've found your position, you can gently lower your head. Slowly come up, walk your way back to center. Use your hands to support your knees as you draw your legs in. Plant the soles of your feet, keeping your feet at a 45-degree angle, and let's slowly walk our way into Malasana. We're just going to rock to find our comfort in this pose, opening up the hips, loosening up those hip joints. And now let's come to settle in our Malasana, our garland pose. You can use the hands in front of you for support. If your heels can't touch the ground, that's absolutely fine. You can stay on your toes. Otherwise, come to settle on your heels, bringing the hands to heart center in prayer position, and using those elbows to gently open up the legs and open up the hips. And let's close our eyes here in Malasana pose. It's also a lovely restorative pose. And gently just go within. Now let's place our hands in front of us, lift up those hips. So we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And you can heel toe those feet out to settle into a wide-legged position. Your toes are slightly in. And just find your balance here. Come to rest on your fingertips initially, just to keep that nice concave feeling in your back, that extension through the lower back. And once you've found your position, let's walk our hands forward and come to settle. So it's almost like a wide-legged downward facing dog. Just walk those hands out in front of you, pressing through the palms, and then gently lower your head. Now walk your way back to a more neutral spine. Let's place the left hand in front of you, twist to the right, extending the right arm upwards. And now replace the right hand in front of you and let's twist to the left. And then lower the left arm. Let's come back into Prasarita Padottanasana, a wide-legged forward fold. Ground through the feet. You're really pressing through the outsides of the feet here. And your fingertips are supporting you to maintain that concavity in your spine. Now you can heel toe your way in slightly. Let's take one more Malasana, sinking down into garland pose. Now from this position, we're going to place our hands in front of us, lift up our hips, and slowly heel toe your way into a forward fold. And we can just gently bend those knees and then straighten those knees, warming up our hamstrings. And now let's come onto all fours, so coming into tabletop position on your mats. And from this position, we're just going to extend through the right leg. So coming onto the ball of the foot, rocking gently back and forth, just warming up the calf muscles. And then float that leg up, flexing the foot. Raise your left arm. And now sweep that left arm up, bend your right knee, take hold of the foot and come into your little tiger pose. So this is just a mini back bend, also just to counterbalance all the forward folds that we've been doing. And then lower your hand and your knee to the mat. Let's extend through the left foot, coming onto the ball of the foot. You can rock gently back and forth, warming up that calf muscle. And I'll float that leg up, sweep the right arm up, and then raise that right arm, bending the left knee, coming into tiger pose. And now let's lower our hand and our knee back onto the mat. Then you can bring the feet together, widen the knees, and gently come to rest in child's pose. Let's come back onto all fours, tuck the toes under, lift up the hips, coming into downward facing dog. Just find your pose, find your extension here. You're drawing the chest towards the thighs. You can have a slight bend in the knees initially just to lift that pelvis up. Get the sit bones nice and vertical, the highest point of the body. You're pressing into your hands, your fingers are widespread. And once you've found your pose, you can gently straighten those legs, drawing the heels down towards the mat. Your toes are slightly inward and your legs are slightly rotating inwards. Now let's inhale as we roll forward into high plank, and then exhale as you bend your knees and lift back up into downward dog. Let's take a few more of these nice circular motions, feeling like the waves of the ocean. And just inhale as you come forward and exhale back. Inhale forward and exhale back. And let's do two more together. And last one, inhale forward and exhale as you come to settle in your downward facing dog. Now let's slowly walk our way to the front edge of our mat as we prepare for our moon salutation. So come into a forward fold. Just allow the whole body to fully relax. Your neck is nice and free in this pose, so you can just gently move it from side to side, enjoying that freedom, enjoying that release. You can keep a slight bend in the knees if it's easier for you. Just allow those hamstrings to gently stretch and warm up. And then come to settle in your forward fold wherever it's comfortable for you. And now place the hands onto the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale as you come to standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're just going to move to the front of our mats, so facing forwards. And you're not quite in the center of your mat, so just off center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bring your hands into upward prayer. Exhale, extending across to the right hand side. Inhale to center. Exhale as you move across to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, bringing the hands into prayer pose. Step out with the left. Shift your feet so that they're at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, reaching up with the arms. And as you exhale, come to settle in goddess pose. And you can just sink into those hips, spreading through the fingers, keeping the arms nice and activated. Nice, strong pose. And now inhale as you come into star pose. Shift your left foot so that the toes are facing in. Shift your right foot to face the short edge of your mat. Inhale as you broaden through the chest. And exhale as you shift that torso across, coming into triangle pose. And now rotate the body to face the short edge of your mat. Plant that back foot, coming into pyramid. Parsvottanasana. Now exhale, bending the front leg, dropping the left knee to the mat, untucking the toes. Inhale, crescent moon or crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to mat in front of that right foot. Shift the torso to face the front of your mat and come to settle in Skandasana or your side lunge. You can use the hands here as support, or you can gently bring them to rest in heart center. And now let's walk our way to the middle of our mats. Heel toe your feet so that they're slightly wider than hip distance apart. And gently find Malasana. Now let's walk our way to the left hand side of our mats. Sinking into Skandasana, our low lunge, side lunge. Place the hands onto the mat, shift the torso to face the short edge of your mat, drop that right knee, untuck the toes, inhale, and reach up into crescent lunge. Exhale, placing the hands onto the mat. Ground your back foot, straighten that front leg into pyramid pose. Place the left hand in front of your left foot, twist and rotate your torso as you come into triangle. And inhale into star pose. Rotate those feet so that the toes are facing outwards. Exhale down into goddess pose. And inhale as you step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, stretching across to the left-hand side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. And exhale as you bring your hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to repeat that moon salutation. Moving in the opposite direction now. So settle into your Tadasana pose. Ground those feet. Inhale, reach up those arms into upward prayer. Exhale, shifting across to the left-hand side. Inhale to center. Exhale as you shift to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to prayer. This time step out with the right foot. Feet are at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, reaching those arms up. And exhale as you settle into goddess pose. Inhale to star. Exhale as we move into triangle pose. Rotate the torso coming into pyramid pose. Exhale down into crescent lunge. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hands to mat. Shift your torso to face the front edge of your mat. Settle into your side lunge. Walk your way towards the center of the mat. Heel toe those feet. Find your Malasana pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Now walk your way across to the right hand side of the mat. Settle into Skandasana, your side lunge. And now shift your torso to face the front edge of your mat. Sink that back knee down and tuck the toes. Inhale as you lift up into crescent lunge. Exhale down, straighten the front leg, plant the back leg into your pyramid pose. Rotate the torso to the front. Inhale, reach up into triangle pose. Inhale to come up to star pose. Exhale down into goddess. And inhale as you come to standing in Tadasana. Inhale, reach those arms up into upward prayer. Exhale across to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And exhale to bring the palms to touch at heart center. And that's our beautiful moon salutation. So well done. Okay, let's come back to the front edge of our mats. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale as you come into a forward fold. Step back with the right, step back with the left, coming into high plank. Let's take a vinyasa here. So lower your torso down through chaturanga, and then inhale into upward facing dog. Remember to activate the thighs here. Pull up those knees. Your whole torso is nicely concaved. Tuck the toes under. Exhale to come back into downward facing dog. And I'll lower the knees to the mat and tuck the toes and come to settle in child's pose. Okay, come back onto all fours. We're going to move through one more vinyasa with one of my favorite yin poses, which is pigeon pose. So tuck the toes under, lift up through the hips, come into downward facing dog. And now sweep that right leg up bend the right knee, bringing knee to chest. Lower that knee onto the mat. Come to settle in your pigeon pose. And let's just find our pose, align those hips, distribute the weight equally from left to right. And once you've found your pose, we're going to gently walk our way forward, coming to settle with our forehead resting on our hands. Now walk your way back to a seated position. Shift your weight so that you're facing forward. We're coming into our wide-legged Janu Shasana pose. Slide that left elbow down towards the left knee. Reach up with the right arm and come back into your side stretch. And now let's lift up into Stargazer pose. And let's come down for one more side stretch. And one more Stargazer. Come back to a seated position. Open up your right leg. So we're coming back into Upavista Konasana, our wide-legged seated position. And let's gently walk our way forward, coming to settle in a forward fold. So again, just take your time. Allow your body to surrender. Hopefully you're a little bit warmer now. And those hips have opened up. And let's just gently fold forward, coming to settle in this pose. Now walk your way back to a seated position. This time we're going to fold our left knee. Reach down with your right elbow, bringing right elbow to right knee, and extend up and over with the left arm. And now let's release as we come into Stargazer pose. And we'll move through one more side stretch. And one more Stargazer. And then come back to a seated position on your mat. Now shift your torso to face the short edge of your mat. Coming back into pigeon pose. This time we're on the left side, so your left knee is bent. Find your seat in your pigeon. Settle into those hips. And align the weight on both sides so that you're feeling completely balanced in your pose. And now once you've found your seat in your pigeon, let's slowly walk forward, bringing our foreheads to rest on the mat. Now walk your way back to a seated position. Tuck the toes under on the right leg. Sweep that left leg into the chest and up into three-legged dog. And then gently replace it onto the mat as you come into your downward facing dog. And now let's bend our knees, sinking into child's pose. Now walk your hands so that you come into a seated position. Shift your weight so that you come to sitting on your mats. Plant the feet in front of you and gently lower your back as we come into our supine position. Draw the right knee into your chest. Hug that knee. And now draw the knee towards your armpit. So opening up the hips a little bit further. And then take hold of the sole of the foot with the right hand and draw that thigh towards the mat, opening up your hips into a half happy baby pose. And now we're going to open up a little bit further. If you'd like an extra extension, straighten that leg and draw the leg down onto the mat. Otherwise you can stay in your half happy baby pose, whatever works for you. And then we'll gently draw that foot back. Now extend through the sole of the foot, straightening that leg. Take hold of the back of the thigh and gently draw the thigh towards your chest. Now let's replace that foot onto the mat. Draw your left knee into your chest. Hug that knee. And now we're going to open up even further by drawing the knee towards the left shoulder. And then take hold of the ball of the foot with your left hand, opening up into half happy baby. You're trying to bring the thigh down onto the mat. The foot is flexed. And now if you'd like an extra extension, let's straighten that left leg, drawing the left leg down onto the mat. Otherwise, just hold your half happy baby pose. And now you can bring the leg back, pressing through the sole of the foot, straightening that left leg. Take hold of the back of the thigh with the arms and gently draw the thigh towards your chest. Now let's replace the sole of the foot onto the mat. Extend those legs out in front of you. Allow the feet to flop out to the sides. Come to settle in Shavasana. Feeling fully supported by the earth. We've had a beautiful, soothing class, so it's time to go back within. Gently close your eyes. The palms are facing up. Check that there's no trapped flesh anywhere. Find your comfortable position. You can tuck the chin in slightly to elongate the neck. Gently close your eyes and focus once again on your natural breath. Now you can slowly become aware of the body on the mat. Rub your fingers and thumbs together. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. You can draw the thighs together and point the toes, extending up through the arms, inhaling as you stretch your body. And then exhale, bringing your body into a little ball, hugging those knees, rocking gently from side to side. And then slowly come onto the right hand side. And very gently lift up into a seated position. Inhale, reach up with the arms. And exhale as you bring the hands to settle in heart center. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope you enjoyed the class and that you're feeling cool, calm, and collected. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you. Take care.